You know, in the high-stakes world of legal battles, there's a special kind of investigator. They don't look for fingerprints, they look at balance sheets. Their job is to answer questions that can be worth millions. Questions like, what's the price of a future that was stolen? Or a promise that was broken? It's a fascinating field, so let's dive into the world of these financial detectives.
I mean, think about that for a second. It's a huge question, right? When some catastrophic event completely derails someone's life, or a huge business deal just collapses, the damage isn't just emotional, it's financial. But how in the world do you calculate the value of money that was never actually earned, or profits that never made it to the bank? How do lawyers and judges even begin to land on a number? Well, that's where they come in, and these are not your typical PIs. Nope, they're forensic accountants and financial experts who piece together clues from receipts and forecasts and old employment records, all to uncover the hidden financial story that nobody else can see. So who are these financial sleuths, really? Well, their work exists in this really specialized field, sitting right at the intersection of accounting and the law. Okay, so the official term for what they do is litigation support, and it is absolutely crucial. These experts work hand in hand with lawyers right from the very start of a case, helping them make sense of the financial mess, analyze all the evidence, and ultimately build a rock-solid argument for a very specific dollar amount in damages.
And they do way more than just crunch numbers in some back room. They're on the front lines, helping lawyers draft those really tough financial questions to ask the other side. They're poring over the other expert's report, looking for any weakness, trying to poke holes in it. They advise lawyers during settlement talks, and if it comes to it, yep, they'll take the stand as an expert witness and break it all down for a judge and jury. All right, so let's do this. Let's crack open the case files and see exactly how these financial detectives work in the real world. We're gonna look at 3 totally different scenarios where their skills are really put to the test. So for our first case, let's look at a personal injury claim. Imagine someone's life is just forever changed because of an accident. Maybe they can't work in the same way anymore, or maybe they can't work at all. Their entire future has been fundamentally rewritten. This is the absolute core of the challenge. You have to project a whole career path that doesn't exist anymore. And it's not just about what they were making right when the accident happened. No, it's about the promotions they probably would have gotten, the new skills they would have learned. You have to map out the entire arc of a professional life that was cut short. And what's so interesting here is just how personal this whole process is. The experts don't just pull average numbers out of thin air. They dig deep into that specific person's history, their education, their employment records, their career trajectory. They look at reports from vocational experts to figure out what work, if any, is still possible. And of course, they have to factor in the lifelong costs of future medical care. It is a deeply, deeply customized calculation. Okay, let's switch gears to our next case, a business interruption. Picture this, a fire, a flood, some huge supply chain disaster. Something forces a thriving company to just shut its doors for a while. The sales grind to a halt, but the bills, oh, the bills keep coming. So here we are again, trying to measure something that, well, never actually happened. The company definitely lost profits, but how much? You can't just point to a bank statement for money that was never deposited. You have to paint a really credible picture of what would have happened if things had just gone according to plan. So how do they do it? It all starts with a deep dive into the company's past performance. Was it growing? By how much? They look at earnings forecasts and what the whole industry is doing to project a realistic growth path. And of course, they have to comb through the insurance policy to see what's actually covered and what's not. It's all about building a financial story that's totally grounded in historical fact. And for our final case file, let's talk about a breach of contract. You've got 2 parties with an agreement, a plan for the future. Maybe a developer was just about to break ground on a huge new project, or a publisher had a deal for a blockbuster book series. And then one party just backs out. The whole thing crumbles. And this is the million-dollar question, sometimes literally. A broken contract isn't just a letdown, it represents a massive loss of potential revenue, not to mention all the money already invested. The financial detective's job is to put a real dollar amount on what that collapsed future was actually worth. So we've seen what they investigate in these cases, right? Personal injury, business losses, broken contracts. Now let's open up their toolkit and see how they actually do it. What does this investigation process really look like? Well, it's a very methodical, step-by-step process. It usually starts with getting their boots on the ground, site visits, interviews, to really get a feel for the business. Then comes that deep financial analysis. After that, they draft an incredibly detailed report that lays out every single assumption. They go over this with their client very carefully because clarity is everything. And their job isn't over until it's over. They provide support all the way through to a final settlement or a court judgment. So this all leads to a final and honestly a super important takeaway. Because whether you're an individual or you're running a business, this entire process highlights something that is critical for every single one of us. And here it is. The work of these financial detectives, their entire ability to put a financial reality back together, it all hinges on one thing: the quality of the evidence. And guess what? More often than not, that crucial evidence is already sitting in your own files. Just think about it for a second. In that contract dispute, the key piece of evidence might be the emails that clarified what the deal was. For a business interruption, those old sales forecasts and business plans are pure gold. And for a self-employed person in an injury case, having complete, organized financial records is the only way to prove what you are capable of earning. Good records are your best protection. So when we all think about courtroom drama, we picture a surprise witness pointing a finger or some passionate closing argument. But as we've just seen, sometimes the most powerful weapon, the one thing that can actually win or lose a multi-million-dollar case, might just be a well-organized spreadsheet. Something to think about.